All right, another beautiful Monday to talk football. Loads and loads of action happening in the ever exciting world of football. My name is Jerry Apelohai, and the program is The Locker Room on Voice of the People Television. And we've got a thrilling show for you today, as it promises to be exciting. And the usual suspects are joining me. Of course, Ikechukwu and Mayowa are ready to break down all the action and share their hot takes on what's going down in the football world. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never get to miss an episode of The Locker Room. You can also join us via the WhatsApp number showing on your screen to join the conversation. I want to say we appreciate you. We see the comments. Talking about our edition on Friday, it was really, really on fire as a lot of Nigerians some Nigerians went ahead to roast Taribo West. And somehow, it's going to be another conversation we're going to have in the future. Yeah. Maybe I'll let reactions continue to build. Talking about those who have not seen our episodes, go back to our YouTube channel, go to the Locker Room playlist, and of course, see our edition. We talked about Taribo West saying that he will not allow his son to play for the Super Eagles. And you can see the comment section. Tell us what you think about it. And of course, maybe we'll come out with part 2 of the reactions of Nigerians. And look at our footballers. Where do they get it wrong? And when eventually they retire, they expect to still get more from Nigerians. Ikechukwu, what a beautiful weekend of football. It's great to have you once again on Locker Room.
Good evening, Jerry, and good evening to our viewers. I mean, Jerry, it's unfortunate what happened to
Peter
Rufai. Peter Rufai's case is not even an outlier. We've had cases before then. That's exactly why a lot of persons actually are complaining, and that was exactly why Taribo West was also, very furious about the whole thing. But then it's a very beautiful day to talk football. A lot's been happening in the world of transfer. Premier League teams are beginning to show that I think it may not be too early to start saying that the big boys have started separating themselves from the underdogs, and of course the pretenders have also start shifting grounds, and then we'll definitely start seeing what looks like the real contenders for the Premier League. I mean, to transfer news where Victor Boniface had almost joined AC Milan, and then in the 11th hour something actually changed, and then to the continuation of the Nigerian Professional Football League, and then of course Victor Osimhen on fire again, and he's shown just why he's just Galatasaray had to cough all of that money to actually bring him in. It's a very wonderful day to talk football, Jerry, here in Locker Room.
All right, talking about Victor Osimhen, even Larry Sani had to say that he saw a very, very good footballer and he was impressed with what he saw. Maybe he should be talking to his former club side, Man City and Bayern Munich, to get him. Because anyway, for Bayern, they already have Harry Kane. It's going to be difficult for them to have another striker because Harry Kane is doing all the job. I don't think they need Victor Osimhen right now. And for Man City, they already have the great man, Erling Haaland.
Nah, come on. Those two guys are
Osimhen
just...
and Haaland cannot play in the same team. So it's going to be very difficult.
Both of them are on another level. I mean, I think when it comes to the real number 9, it's just both of them first before any other person.
Yeah.
When it
Fantastic
comes to real number 9,
these guys are Osimhen can suffice, but they can never play in the same team.
And Osimhen cannot play as a second fiddle because he's also a good player. So he
needs to a great player too.
He needs to play in the team where he's going to be the main man.
Yeah. So Victor Osimhen, though whatever he does in Turkey, imagine he's doing this in the English Premier League.
That's exactly why we're actually talking about the transfer. Because yes, we know he's got.
Imagine that kind of performance over the weekend was in the Premier League. Come on, to be everywhere.
Tabloid would have been carrying the story, and then I mean the 2025-2026 season would have been looking at another Ballon d'Or shot if he continues like this. But then it's unfortunate, except he does something remarkable in Europe, which is going to actually change the style in his favor. But outside that, I don't think he's got any real claim to actually be anywhere close to the top 10.
All right, okay. Let's see how that pans out. Okay, while we wait for Mariwan to join us virtually, let's talk about the former Super Eagles winger, Demeji Lawal, has expressed confidence in the 31-man provisional squad unveiled by head coach Eric Chell for the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. And of course, we all know that that list, there's been a lot of talk about it. Hard cut makes the cut. Okay, and Nigeria will take on Rwanda at home before traveling to South Africa on September 9, with both matches seen as decisive to the team's qualification hopes. And Lawal described the squad as a full package, stressing that the quality of players invited is strong enough to secure 6 vital points, and he believes the team has the talent and depth required to overcome both Rwanda and South Africa if they approach the games with determination. It's all about determination. We saw determination against Rwanda and Zimbabwe. The same determination in Zimbabwe was still not enough.
Well, I think what he's basically talking about is that the team should fight to the end. We saw the determination against Rwanda. It was a fight from the beginning to the end. The team actually really fought for every single ball against Rwanda. And that's why we're actually praising them that, okay, this is the very first time such a Super Eagles team actually fighting for second ball. And when a team actually wins, most of the second ball, you're most likely going to win a game. It is natural in football. But then against Zimbabwe, we also did the same thing. We fought for second ball. We did all we could, we should have done to actually win that game. And then in the 70th to 90 minutes, the team started, taking their foot off the pedal. They started relaxing, and that's exactly when the Zimbabweans actually stepped up. Again, yes, we can also say it's tactical error because we expected the coach to actually wind down and then start, managing the time till it ends. But then he actually still came all out full throttle to actually see if he can actually get another one. But then even at that, right, if you look at the build up to that particular goal, these guys actually exchanged, I think, about 4 passes that actually got to our 18 yards. It says a lot about how much of laxity the team showed at that particular point, because at that point, when teams exchange 1 or 2 passes, and we expect you to actually close them down and ensure that they don't even get close to your 18 yards box. But again, you should have also, as a manager, know that the likes of Ekong is actually quite slow, and towards the end of the game like that, for a man who is very much in twilight of his career, it's expected that he's going to be slower than he would have been when the game started. So we expected him to actually do a lot of tactical change at that particular point, which he obviously didn't do. Again, what Dimeji Lawa is simply saying is that that's zeal, that zest that you use to start a game. You should ensure that you use that same mindset to actually end it. That's exactly what he actually meant. Because if you start a game with certain tempo and then towards the end of the game you actually moved away from that, it's going to actually change the dynamics of the team. And for a team a team that is hungry all through 90 minutes, it's definitely going to actually make it easier for them to actually attack you. And when they attack you, they more likely get to go, and again, you're going to shift the balance. So that's exactly what the middle was saying. He's actually not talking about the fact that this team have not shown commitment at some point, but he's saying that you have to keep it till the end of the game.
All right, we have the 31-man provisional list, and 23 will be on the bench. Talking about in the official team list for the game against Rwanda, and 1 for the game against talking about South Africa on September 9th. And Maiwa is with us. Maiwa, I know the weekend was not that palatable. I don't feel your pain, but I understand your pain. But it is what it is. Great to have you join us on Locker Room.
It's always amazing to be here. Apart from the disappointment of Manchester United, Fernandes not being able to score from the penalty spot. The NPFL is back. 2 new clubs.
Qualifiers.
Barao FC, a competitor of Kano Pillars, owned by a private citizen. We don't want to do free advert. Then another club from Imo State, Kun Califat. Very interesting. However, our league need to do better. I was able to catch the game of Kwa United, and I was disappointed with the level of play. I think we need to do better if we want to see, if the local players, the local league players want to have a shot in the national team. The game I watched, I was so disappointed with the performance. And the coaches, our local coaches, they really need to do better if they want to really bring people, to come and watch games. The game at the Kwara State Stadium was not that impressive. The play was disappointing. But I hope probably maybe because the league is just starting, we will see improvement as the league goes on. But in any case, it's a good Monday to talk football. A whole lot of talking points. But we are always here to break it down.
All right, we're always here to break it down. Of course, Maiwa, we already have the 31 provisional list. Just like we earlier said in our previous edition, Harcourt makes the list. And we also have Terry Murphy. And surprisingly, it seems like they had a second thought bringing in Victor Boniface. I don't know, but this same Boniface, there was controversy over the weekend about his move to AC Milan not pulling through due to the fact that rumors that he actually failed his medical. And if that's the situation, this is going to be a very long run. I hope it doesn't end up like I'm trying to remember the player that wanted to make the move to Liverpool.
There's also like Remy, who failed the medical.
Yeah, and he eventually went to Real Betis in Spain. Well, definitely not a good way, good story for any player that wants to make the move subsequently. So, Mayowa, the 31 provisional list is out. And of course, the defenders, Ikechi could say we should not be worried. But anyway, I think this defense, I don't know whether we should be feeling great. Chidozie Awansi, like we said, Igor Agbo, Benjamin Fredericks. There's Calvin Bassey. He's been awesome. He did very well against Manchester United, playing for Fulham in the Premier League. So if he brings that to the pitch against Rwanda and South Africa, I think I will be confident. But William Troost-Ekong, we're not sure about his fitness. Then Olaoluwa, I know, still ever present for Nottingham Forest. There's Bright Oshayi Samuel, the part-time taekwondo fighter. If he picks the fight on the pitch, I think we'll fancy that. And there's Bruno Yemachi, who's a decent player, and Igor Ogbu. I'm still yet to see the best of him. There's Chidozie Awaziem, who has not really taken the bull by the horn as far as his chances with the Eagles is concerned. Felix Agu did well at the Unity Cup. Then Benjamin Fredericks. For the goalkeeper, Stanley Wabali, Amas Obasoje. He didn't really cover himself in glory recently. I don't know. But there's Adebayo Adeleye and Harcourt Ebenezer. I think Stanley Wabali for me and the rest. But people are already rooting for Harcourt somehow. But we know that he will not get the chance as far as Wabali is fit. Myra.
Well, it's good that we are getting to see, younger players get into the team. Like we said, and for whatever, inside joke that we have about Harcourt and being 15-year-old, I mean, it's also a sign of encouragement for our, under 20s, under 17s, that if they do very well and they distinguish themselves enough, they can get into the national team. The discussion about the 15-year-old, we can do that later, but I mean, it shows that, if you do so well, even at a very young age, you can get into the national team. Lamin Yama got into the Spanish national team at age 16, 17. So, I mean, it will not be too bad if you see an Harcourt do it. It might not be, he might not be playing, he might not be starting the game because of the experience, but I mean, it's good that, he's having the feel of the national team.
The youngest national team, 15 years old. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, while for, the defenders, I'm hoping, a Troost-Ekong is fully fit. Remember the last time NHL decided to, pitch his tent with an unfit Troost-Ekong, and we knew how that ended. I hope he's not going to do that this time around, because I mean there have been reports that Troost-Ekong is not being fully fit. But the big question is this: anytime we do not have a Shemia Ajayi playing, our central defense is always, is always very shaky. As Eric Chell been able to solve that situation, I don't think so. But these kind of games will show the tactical input of Eric Chell, will show the tactical genius of Eric Chell in terms of managing the resources of what he have. Yes, there is a Calvin Bassey who did so well against Manchester United. There is an Olaoluwa who has been very consistent, for Nottingham Forest. But the question is the other players, are they going to step up under this enormous pressure? Let's see what Chelsea is going to do. But if you ask me, the pairing in the central defense, I'm not too confident about it. But we can only just hope for the best.
All right, Ikechukwu, defense and the goalkeeping situation.
Well, I mean, Stanley Wabali stands out. The next person in line is definitely Amas Obasoje. Then, of course, it could be Harcourt and Harcourt or Adele, who's going to be third choice goalkeeper. And for the defense, of course, we just hope Troost-Ekong is fit. If he's fit, then of course he's going to be pairing Calvin Bassey and Olaino and the man you call Taekwondo man, Bright Osai Samuel. So the both of them will definitely play from the flank. I think they are our best bets in that particular position. Felix Agu can definitely come in, also can play very well in one of the flanks. It depends on how the coach intends to actually play the team. And then of course Igbo, I hope to actually see him. I hope to actually see him play Pierre Kabimbasi, because I know he's very energetic as well. So yes, let's get to see the both of them actually play. But it's up to second because of his experience, and of course he's seen it all. At this stage, we need the best leg and the most experienced person to actually help us, through this phase. And of course, the captain, fantastic himself. So I think that's basically how the coach is going to actually line up, from the defense, from the goalkeeper to the four-man back, the back four. So if he decides to actually play back three and then two, wing full back, then we'll definitely be looking at the complexities of perhaps Igbo, Trusecong, and then Kabimbasi playing together, which is going to be very, very interesting. All I know, and then get to see maybe some other person playing from the other end. So it depends on how he actually wants to play. So, but then I think we have good players in that particular role so far. I can say we've sorted it out, considering the quality of the teams we'll be playing against. It's all about the tempo and how we can actually manage ourselves in those games for me. So I don't think we are short of quality as regards this particular double header at this point.
All right, let's take a look at the midfielders. We have Alexander Iwobi. He was the man of the match against Manchester United with 1 assist and 3 key passes in that game. There's also Frank the Tank Oyenka and Alassane Yusuf, Wilfred and Didi. I'm still not yet to see his form with Besiktas, where he just recently moved to the Turkish league. There's Fishayo Dele Bashiru, who has impressed me with the few opportunities he has been given the team. There's also Rafael Onyedika and Chrysanthus Uche, who has defied all odds and he's continued to do well in the Spanish league. What's your take on this midfield? Iwobi, Onyeka, Alassane Yusuf and Didi, Dele Bashiru, Rafael Onyedika and Chrysanthus Uche.
I think Chrysanthus Uche, Alex Iwobi was very, very instrumental for Fulham. I mean, he was a thorn in the flesh of Manchester United yesterday, and that shows, how important it will be for the Super Eagles if you want to have any shot at qualifying. But for Ndidi and the rest of them, I still have a problem with the setup in the midfield. And the reason for that is this: majority of those that we feel will probably, feature in our game are not, major heavy hitters for their particular club. Wilfred Ndidi has moved to Besiktas, and he has not been able to find his footing there at the moment. Dele Bashiru, yes, he's been fantastic for Nigeria, but there has not been any consistency when it comes to playing for Nigeria, and those are the best people we can use at the moment, and that's a bit, that gives me a bit of worry. Remember the last game we played against Zimbabwe. Yes, a lot of people we blame Eric Chell, feeding and unfit Trusecong and the rest of that. However, the midfield also contributed to what happened in that particular game. We have a tendency of expending all our energy and taking off the foot off the gas and allowing opponents to have a free ride in the midfield. And the reason for that is this: the man that's supposed to be breaking up play is not doing a good job. So he's not doing a very good job in terms of protecting the defenders, and that's the reason why a whole lot of times, as we go deeper into the game, the pressure comes to the defenders because the person that is supposed to be breaking the play is not doing the job, and that is the person of Wilfred Ndidi. So definitely there is a need for us to be able to find a solution to that. I hope Eric Chell is able to pass the message across. Our midfielders need to do better, but from the performances so far, I'm not so confident in a midfield that has a Wilfred Ndidi starting, based on the fact that his form at the moment is not what we used to know about 5-6 years ago.
All right, Ikechukwu, the midfield. Over to you.
Well, I think one thing I would really, really appreciate is the coach coming out to actually make a statement in the midfield. Rafael Onyedika has been very awesome, consistent. I think he deserves a shot in that particular midfield to start that game. Chrysanthus Uche is, at the moment, one of our best most potent attacking midfielders.
Even the Spanish league
there's conversation about him moving to the Premier League. Clubs are beginning to look his way. There's Alex Iwobi, who showed that he's still very much our most creative player so far, whether we like it or not. So we definitely must want to actually bring the growth. So let him find
Why has he not been able to replicate what he does at Fulham?
So exactly what the case is. The case here is in Fulham. If you look at Iwobi, is very much giving the room to actually rule. So if we can actually say, okay, play somebody with maybe Rafael Redeka, you have to ensure that Rafael Redeka and perhaps Frank Onyeka, for example, you have to ensure that the both of them sit tight and ensure that
Iwobi is
very free. Let him do what he wants to do. You see the best of him, and then we have to play this Chrisantus Uche behind the striker. He's got the energy to actually track back to the midfield, drag the ball. We need someone who can actually move. See, there are two types of midfielders in the world. They are the ball passers and they are the ball carriers. What we have in present-day Super Eagles are people who just want to pass the ball. We don't have a ball carrier. You can be blessed to have the both, a ball carrier and a ball passer. JJ is one of them, right? Not everybody have the ability to actually give you, 100% ball carrying and 100% ball passing, right? So most of the times, what we have now in recent time are just ball passers. The last time we saw a proper ball passer and a ball carrier in Super Eagles midfield is Mikel in the under-20. After then, we didn't see that again. So we need somebody who will be the brain behind the Super Eagles moving forward. And Chrisantus Uche has shown that he's a very good ball carrier. So he needs somebody that will sit and then make the play happen in the middle of the park for him.
Okay.
So this is why I'm saying that Alex Iwobi will be that man. He's going to do a good job, which means the coach will be forced to actually play 3 full-backs, 3 centre-back and 2 wing-backs who will definitely come in the middle to actually shove up, to ensure that the midfield is packed when you want to win ball back. Then it's going to give Alex Iwobi and the man who's going to be playing deep as defensive midfielder, a lot of space to actually enjoy themselves and then pass the ball. Then the last man who's going to be Uche is going to have a lot of time to actually drag the ball in the middle. Now, when he does that, it's going to be easier for the attackers, the wingers, to actually enjoy themselves, because he's going to attract a lot of attention to the midfield. And then when you start spreading the ball to the side, the man in the flank will be free. So that's basically what I think should be done. For me, the midfield trial should be Frank Onyeka, Rafael Ndika rather, Alex Iwobi and Uche. But of course, if you decide to go the other way around, then of course you can actually play Frank Onyeka alongside Alex Iwobi. And
I think if you just pick players who have strength, who can run for 90 minutes, who will not be tired.
Uche is very, very
and Frank Onyeka too.
Yes, and Alex Iwobi. So he can play Frank Onyeka as one of the wing fullback. Right, okay. But his job is going to be cutting through the middle, and then the 3 full man back. One of them will be drifting towards the side when you're actually, attacking, and that's it's all about the coach using tactical,
energy,
yes,
pressing football. Maiwa, you've heard Ikechukwu, your midfield parents taking a look at this, who might likely drop out because it's 31. We're not going to be taking all of the midfielders into maybe the first game against Rwanda or the game against South Africa. Or would you rather take all of them?
I mean, definitely, all of them cannot play. But I mean, the formation that will favor an Alex Iwobi very well, that will suit an Alex Iwobi so much, is playing a 3-man defense and also having our wing backs, going forward and joining them in the midfield when there is time for them to be able to win the balls. A whole lot of times, the reason why Iwobi has not been productive is because we tend to play him as a deep, as a deep role midfielder, and that does not work for him. If you look at how he plays at Fulham, he practically plays behind the strikers. I think we should do that. We should allow Iwobi to have an opportunity to roam free and not restrict him. While a Chrisantus Uche, who has been very, very fantastic for Gaitafe this season. I mean, the last game he played, he had 2 goal contributions, scoring 1 and assisting 1. Has the ability to be able to be a ball carrier and a ball passer like Ikechukwu has rightly mentioned, and that will unlock the creativity of Iwobi playing behind the strikers. I think most of the time we are not getting the best because of how we deploy them. So definitely a Chrisantus Uche is making the midfield, and Iwobi definitely constant. I'll probably bench a Wilfred Ndidi and I will play and Oyemachi Onyedika, I will play Rafael Onyedika as a starting DM. Then I will have 2 wing backs that will be coming to assist when we want to win the ball. And I think that using that formation will unlock the creativity of Iwobi, and will also free up spaces for the strikers to work with, because the opposing team will be worried about how to get the ball from an Iwobi and also how to get the ball for a Crisantos Uche, giving a lot of room for our strikers to be able to flourish. I think that's how I would line up.
All right, definitely. That's an interesting lineup. But let's take a look at the attack, which is definitely the major brain box of this team. If they don't strike, it will be difficult for the team. And though our goals have been dry for this team as far as the World Cup qualifiers is concerned, that has been a major worry. The attack was supposed to be our strength, but unfortunately, it has not really given us anything that much. Taking a look at the points, because goals wins you matches. And take a look at the draws. Because the goals were not coming, that's why we had draws. And if you take a look at the fact, the only game we won was when our attack really struck. That was Victor Osimhen, whether you like it or not.
So the thing is, we need to understand that a gun without a trigger is actually worse than more terrible than a toy gun. The trigger is the midfield. The trigger are the ones. The midfielders are the ones who string all of these passes to ensure that the strikers actually come alive. And we've highlighted. We saw Osimhen in the last Nations Cup. How many goals did he score? We saw him before that Nations Cup. How many goals did he score for his club side? After the Nations Cup, how many goals has he scored for his club side? The like of Lookman, we've seen they are good goal scorers. They know how to score goals. Serious finding the back of the net is not his problem. Moses Simon, these guys do it week in, week out for the club. So it says something fundamental about the common denominator here. What's wrong with the number of chances we created in Super Eagles? It's where the problem is. So it goes back to how much the midfielders can actually conjure up, bring up magic to actually ensure that these guys are free, and then give them those opportunities to actually find the back of the net. If you don't give them this opportunity, you cannot actually fault them for not finding the back of the net. The question is, do these guys actually throw chances away in the Super Eagles? Are we squandering our chances? No, that's the truth is we don't really get the chances from open play. Most times we rely on crosses, and then the players get to nod the ball, and most of our goals come through scrappy means. And and this is not the way we actually play really. The way we actually play, we are known to actually create chances, destabilize our positions, and then bring in those final passes, and then we get our goals. But we don't see that anymore. The creativity level in the middle of the park is very, very low. This is exactly why we are looking at how much and these same players actually go back to their club side. I'm talking about the midfielders now. Do the same job, and then the attackers find the back of the net. So it says a lot about how the coaches here have managed these guys to bring out the best of their ability. So maybe if Erichel can actually unlock the likes of Alex Iwobi for Super Eagles, Crisantos Uche, the same way they've been deployed, they can actually replicate the same form they've been dishing out in their clubs. And of course, these are our attackers who actually know how to find the back of the net. It's going to be easy for them to actually do it. So it's just about working in sync and then helping each other to actually give the best for the Super Eagles. For me, I don't think we have an attack problem. I don't think we have a goal scoring problem. I think our biggest problem is how to ensure that there is this we actually maximize the interplay between the midfield and the attack. If we can actually do that, we will definitely get the best of result that we were all aiming for.
All right, Maiwa, he said that we're not short of firepower, but I think the opponents we've had in this World Cup qualifiers have shown that they've known how to make sure that no matter what we have in attack, somehow it's difficult for them to get the ball, because an attack who doesn't really get the pure service will not be able to score goals. And that means it's not a big job for Erichel to make sure that, yes, you have the best attack in the World Cup qualifying group. Because take a look at our attack head-to-head with South Africa, Rwanda, Benin Republic, and even the South African team. Definitely, they don't come close to anything as far as Victor Boniface is concerned, Samuel Chukwueze is concerned, Ademola Lookman is concerned, even Tolu Arakodare, Cyril Dessers. These are guys who can score any team in the world, be it Real Madrid, the Barcelona of this world. They can poach goals. against them. What has been the case, the situation in this World Cup qualifiers? It looks like it's for the match. So, yes, you have the attack. I'm even surprised Victor Boniface. I don't want to get into that conversation now because I know I will not be seeing him. He's a provisional list. Yeah, it's allowed. Maybe the list was already done before our permutations. But Mariwa, take a look at the attack. There's Terry Murphy anyway. Terry Murphy just scored this past weekend his first goal against Oze.
The thing is this, your attack cannot be potent if your midfield is not functioning. Yeah. And the problem we have is a midfield problem. We've said it, if you look at how Iwobi has been deployed, if you look at how, how we've been playing so far, we always deploy an Iwobi as a double pivot, midfield, in front of the defender. And that is not the best position for, an Alex Iwobi. Alex Iwobi needs to play behind the striker. So what will happen invariably is this. We have a Chrysanthos Uche, who is a ball carrier, who is a ball passer, and also knows how to win the ball. We have an Iwobi whose best performance will be giving him a free role to run riot. Then we have, a Rafael Onyedika who is going to be the man roving in the midfield to break up play. Then there is a Bright Osai Samuel and Olaino. Those two guys, they will need to also be joining the attack regularly. Also for Bright Osai Samuel, for this to be able to work, for our strikers to be able to get enough supply, Bright Osai Samuel needs to do so well with his end goal in terms of his crosses, in terms of his final passes when he gets to the final third. I think that has been a bit lacking, and that's the reason why he has not been consistently playing for Anose Mourinho. I think he needs to improve on that. If those people can do their job very well, I think there will be more spaces for a Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman to work with. Most of the time, if we look at how Victor Osimhen plays most of the time, he is not being able to play centrally because we don't have a midfield that gives him the opportunity to play centrally most of the time. And Victor Osimhen thrives playing as an out-and-out striker. I think if we're able to unlock our midfield and also we're able to use the brilliance of Olaino and Bright Osai Samuel in terms of going forward and joining the attack, I think it will give Osimhen the opportunity to be able to have himself in key positions that can get us goals rather than us always relying on crosses and the rest of that. We need to, refine our midfield, allow Chrysanthos Uche and Iwobi to flourish with the kind of defensive midfielder we are putting behind them. That is when we'll be able to see the best of, Osimhen and Ademola Lookman. The problem is this, we don't have an attacking problem. What we have is a midfield problem. If we fix our midfield and we get it right, I think Rwanda and South Africa will not be a big issue for us in terms of scoring goals against them.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. And of course, take a look at our attackers over the weekend. Victor Osimhen was on fire playing against Kesare. And there's also Terry Murphy. He's returning to the team. I think it's also good news for Terry Murphy. Then taking a look at that attack, there's some players I don't know. Anyway, it's provisional list. Victor Boniface and Umar Sadiq. I don't know. For these two, I think 35-man list, we have to prune down to 23. They should start from those two. Then maybe Akko Adams, I don't know. Akko Adams did well in the last match, but that's still not enough. He can still learn by joining the training and so on and so forth. Fine, well and good. I don't know. Maybe that money should be donated to the less privileged. Talking about the flight tickets, giving these players to and fro. I don't know what they're going to add to the team.
But the thing is, I really don't have issues with Victor Boniface. I think he's one of the most experienced attack.
You think the players will want to see him now after that? After what happened on social media just recently, the players will be happy to see him in camp.
Well, that's where the problem is, and I want to believe that he might not have come out to actually apologize to them, but they have a group where they meet. He must have said something.
He must.
I want to believe him.
The arrogancy that was.
well, this is me just trying to.
The arrogancy from him. Do you think he will stoop to that extent of apologize to the players, or will he not even come and say, "Let anyone be the first to cast the stone. Let me not show you."
But Jerry, see
what I'm made of.
I want to give the benefit of doubt. I want to give the guys this benefit of doubt that and of course the people managing the team.
If you're part of Victor Boniface team and you saw that on social media, would you accept an arrogant apology or an apology at all?
No, that's the thing, Jerry.
Yeah.
What he did is actually bad, true.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when stuff like this happen, and then you're close to major games like this, the worst you want to do is to actually let the story keep regurgitating in the media. You want to keep it
safety
down.
and sanity of the team. You as a coach.
That's what I'm saying.
Going into two crucial qualifiers.
That's what I'm saying. Going into these crucial qualifiers, like I said, they might decide to actually keep everything, including the apology, off the media. Right.
And do it
so okay,
in-house.
yes, just apologize to these guys and let's get it done.
And if he refuses and say he did nothing wrong,
I don't think he's.
and he failed to secure a move to AC Milan.
No. The reason he failed to actually secure the move is not his talent.
Medical.
It's not his talent.
It's because he failed the medical.
Absolutely. And it's not because he's not physically fit to play.
No, medicals.
Right? Yeah. But
Medicals are crucial for a player's
no, Jerry.
form and
The reason he didn't make the move, or the move actually
AC Milan didn't sign him.
Why they didn't sign him was because of the risk assessment they did.
That's medicals.
Right.
Yeah.
That how long is he going to stay fit because of his consistent injuries?
That is failing
It's
medical.
different. It's like what happened to Van Basten that retired earlier. I think it's about 28.
That's failing medicals.
But it's not about his talent.
It's not about his
And
talent.
it's not about whether he's fit to play as a player.
Like Eden Hazard is talented, but what happened to him at?
Hazard even got to over 30. We're talking about players in their 20s that got retired.
No, I'm just stating the obvious. Like, okay, Hazard is a great player, but he never really blossomed at Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, true.
Yeah. So now inviting a risk-assessed player to a crucial World Cup qualifier, don't you think it's a waste of space? That money should have been used.
No, Jerry. Jerry,
in terms of his flight, his bonus, and so on and so on. Maiwa, do you think we need them, Umar Sadiq?
No, Omar Sadiq.
Because now we're looking for players who are fresh.
Omar Sadiq is the question here for me. No, we don't even have any player that is fresh and potent at this level now in Super League. Yes, outside this group. Who?
No, I'm not saying. For instance, we're going to go in 23.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there a need to carry Boniface and Umar Sadiq into that 23-man list? For instance, would there be a need for those two? That's the question.
For Omar Sadiq, I can't say, but for Victor Boniface, I think we need Victor Boniface.
Gee, wow, I'm shocked. Like,
I think
why should you speech me right now? Because I didn't hear that. Wait.
I think we need Victor Boniface.
Let me hold my cool. Because
I think we need
I
Victor
know the boss. But I know you're trying to get my talk on my name, but I'll forgive you for that. Anyway, why you go ahead?
Well, I think first thing first, I think what Victor Boniface said is not wrong, and we've constantly said it here. When and no disrespect to the guys that are representing Nigeria, they are doing their best for the country and whatever it is. I'm not more of a Nigerian than them that were born abroad and the rest of that. So people do not misconstrue the fact that of what I wanted to say. He said something. He said a whole lot of the players do not show commitment. They don't have the zeal. They don't show the commitment to be able to succeed for the national team. And we've established that multiple times, that majority of them, because they don't have real genuine connection to the country, they are just Nigerian by what their parents told them, and they are playing for Nigeria because they don't have better opportunity, and that's the reason why they are featuring for us. So definitely the zeal is not there. So what Victor Boniface said is actually very correct. However, the message should not be coming from a Victor Boniface. A Victor Boniface that has not been able to do anything for the national team should not be the one pointing fingers when his own attitude, his own performance does not show seriousness. That is where the issue is. Now coming to the issue of Victor Boniface. In order not to, cause any more chaos, because a whole lot of players will be angry in that particular team, owing to the fact that it is a Victor Boniface with that kind of horrible performance he has put in for the national team that is calling them out. A whole lot of them will hold a grudge against him. And having a Victor Boniface in the team, in camp, might cause disunity, might cause a whole lot of tension. So for me, I think Victor Boniface should be taken away from that list. Probably maybe after the World Cup qualifier, they should come and address whatever it is, whether he wants to apologize or whatever it is, and just in order not to spoil the synergy in the team. So for me, Victor Boniface should not be part of the team. As regards his performance, he has not done enough to play for Nigeria at the moment. every time he has been given an opportunity, he has not been able to deliver. So why waste that spot when we have other strikers that probably put in their best and deliver for Nigeria? For whatever reason, God forbid, if Victor Osimhen is injured, can a Victor Boniface step up? No, we all know that is not possible. We're giving him the opportunity, he has not been able to do it. So for me, he should be out of the team on 2 grounds. His performance for the national team and the statement he made based on the fact that he himself is not that serious of a player when it comes to the national team. For Umaru Sadiq, how Umaru Sadiq got to the on that list, I do not understand it. There is no justification for Umaru Sadiq on that list. And I hope it's not a matter of this is my person, this is my person, as the former NFF president did as regards Ahmed Musa. This is my player, and he has to play, and he has to feature. I hope it's not the case of Tanimu again repeating itself, whereby somebody higher up will call the shot and enforce that and ensure that a particular player with vested interest in is part of Super Eagles. Umaru Sadiq should never be part of that team because he does not deserve a place in the national team.
It's my slot now, so my one.
No, it's not my slot.
It's someone's slot.
It's quota system.
And that is slot now.
Federal
Quota
character.
system will make you want to have a
Federal
slot.
character.
Yes. What is the name of your NFL president? I just forget.
Since they cannot take Ahmed Musa.
Who's the NFL president? Gusau, okay.
Since they cannot take Ahmed Musa, they have to bring in somebody that will replace that part of the country to balance federal character.
It is what it is.
But we should not be concerned about that. The performance is there. The performance is there
for everybody to see. You have to reflect federal character, Mayowa.
But the thing is this, and that critical question we should ask ourselves is this: how many of those that we are inviting, how many of them hold a commanding shirt in their team? That's another important question we should ask. How many of them hold a commanding shirt in their team? Some of them are more terrible than the other, but how many of them hold a commanding shirt in their team? Except, a Wobi, a Calvin Bassey. How many of the players that we have hold the commanding shirts in the team? How many of them will they bench and their team will be in chaos? How many of them? It's very few. So, I mean, it's a however, Omar Sadiq is so bad, he should not even be invited for the national team.
How would they know it is Nigerian national team if it does not reflect federal character?
Marwan, let's not even go to that debate. We all know the story. Anyway, I wish the Eagles all the best. We'll wait for them to hit camp, and we're looking forward to giving an update as far as the Eagles countdown to the game against Rwanda in New York. That will be the first game on the 6th of September, and the second one, which is crucial, out there in Bloemfontein, South Africa, where they take on the Bafana. It's an away game. It's a very crucial one for the Super Eagles in their chances of qualifying for the World Cup. Though, I think we should start planning for 2030. But let's play those games because FIFA says so. Anyway, Atlanta Sporting Director Tony D'Amico has voiced his disappointment with the Ademola Lookman mid-transfer on certain things. Okay, he said he's disappointed. If he were to be in Ademola Lookman's shoes, what would he have done differently? Talking about Miko.
Well, I don't know what he expects Ademola Lookman to have done.
Yeah, to take anything.
Because according to Ademola Lookman said they had an agreement, a verbal agreement that this is the time I have to leave, and then they've reneged. So I don't know what he's expecting. Maybe he's expecting Ademola Lookman not to go all out or not to go away. Maybe that's why he's saying he's disappointed. But I think at this point, right, if they decide to actually keep Ademola Lookman, who is arguably their most valuable asset at this point, on the bench, because that's looking like what they intend to do, if they actually get a player or two and then decide to punish him for it, who is going to lose? Yes, it's going to actually affect his career because he may not really enjoy, get a good playing time this season. But who loses? Because at the end of the day, if the guy decides to actually move, they're definitely going to be selling him short than the expected market value. So I think this is at the point where they have to actually sit down and decide what they actually want, what they actually need
You want to
do.
keep him against you with Swish.
Because it's so terrible. Now, if you force a player to actually
Inter
stay,
put out the deal.
if you force a player to actually stay, no, for Inter, right, they can always bring Inter back to the table. It's all about conversation. Okay, we're willing to sell. Okay, bring the money you ask. Even if Inter does not have that money instantly, now they can actually find a way around it, or open the door, for other suitors that want to actually acquire him, for them to actually acquire him. The market transfer window is still very much open. So I don't know why they're actually doing this. And if they decide to even still keep him between now and January, other clubs will still definitely come for him by that particular time. And trust me, there's a lot of damage already. And this goes back to what Isak was saying, that at this point it is irreparable, right? Whatever it is you want to do, the best thing for the both of us is just to go our separate ways. Because if you force them to actually continue to stay in the same
done that yet.
He said?
Lookman has not done his own here. He has not.
That's what I'm saying. No, the attitude already says it, right? The attitude says it. If you decide to actually continue to live together, it's going to be chaotic. I mean, it's an unhealthy relationship. Nobody's going to enjoy it. Yes.
Together and they are not
the
happy.
both of you have said you don't think it can work. So you guys should just find a peaceful resolution and then end it. So it's so unfair.
Why there's not like by forced marriage. That's the worst feeling. Being in a place you don't want to be.
Thing is, we have to put things in perspective. Ademola Lookman is justified to be angry. Gentleman's agreement is binding, irrespective of whether you sign something or not. If somebody comes to you as a gentleman and gives you his word, I think that should be enough for you to be able to bank on. However, in the case of Ademola Lookman, the owners of Atlanta have decided to show him Lagos. As they say, they decided to show him Lagos. However, Ademola Lookman also needs to understand that he is still contractually obligated to perform for Atlanta.
Yeah.
He might not be happy about it, but he has a contract that is running. So any tantrums he wants to throw, he should throw it in terms of negotiating his way out, and not, throw tantrums in terms of his own performance or throw tantrums in terms of showing up. The bottom line is this: he has a binding contract. He signed the terms and conditions of the contract he's on at the moment. So if anybody wants to be angry, he should be angry with himself for signing that contract. He decided to extend his own contract when he needed not to. And that is where the problem is at the moment. So Ademola Lookman needs to do his job as a player, as an employee of Atlanta at the moment. Whatever dispute he wants to resolve, he should not resolve it by throwing tantrums to the coach or the management, because as far as I'm concerned, they are still his employers. He should throw it, he should find a way to resolve this issue amicably and not throw tantrums that will affect his performance. I think that's the way to go for him.
All right. I wish him all the best. Okay. We're pressed for time. Let's talk about the Premier League. I was just even talking to Ashfield on X about the situation of Manchester United. I said actually that it's high time Amorim goes, because the more he stays, taking a look at his stats, he has lost 15 matches out of 29 matches. And most of those losses have come at Old Trafford. So I don't know the plan he has. Maybe his plan is to come and bury the club, because the club has spent money already on him. And they say maybe when Sesko comes in, when he starts games, things are going to change. Well, I don't know. Anyway, if you want to play Amorim, we still look at Man City. Almighty Guardiola. They lost to Tottenham Hotspur. It looks like this season is going to be very interesting.
Very interesting. For Manchester City, right? Their goals, the goals they considered was purely a defensive error, and the second one, that goalkeeper was I don't know what he was thinking.
Defense is aging out.
No.
The goalkeeper is not.
Defense wasn't aging out. John Stones slipped, and that was what made Richarlison gain a lot of ground. The second goal,
John Stones we used to know again. It's not
it can actually happen to anybody, Jerry. Okay. The second goal was the goalkeeper's fault. There's no reason why you pass that sort of pass.
Ederson has left.
So
he's no longer the goalkeeper.
But it's Man City's problem, right? And looking at that Pep Guardiola team and compare them with what you saw last season, you know that this team is going to actually get it right. They've actually
I think they've discovered
they're in a better space.
Expo.
No, they're in a better space, definitely.
They've seen the expo of Guardiola.
For Manchester United, United's team also last season is terrible. This season is way better than what we saw last season.
Okay.
The team might not, get to the top 4 or how you want to,
or
whatever it is.
They may not make top 6 or top 8.
I see this team getting the top 6 because United, the team needs just 2 key signings: goalkeeper and 1 guy in the midfield.
They have what's the name of the
just goalkeeper and 1 guy in the midfield. Trust me.
The goalkeeper now is doing fairly well.
No, he's actually not.
But in the
thing is, the thing is, Jerry. There's something a good goalkeeper.
Do you know what they're calling by United now? I play well FC.
Jerry,
we played better. We play better FC. You play better and we lose it.
No.
See, this one.
The team has really improved. Trust me. If you're a Man fan, you know this.
I said about Man United will play well and they'll be losing. That's what.
Last season they didn't even play well. That's the thing.
Last season they were showing promise.
No promise. It was terrible.
King of comeback, you forgot it. Okay, you say they are king of comeback now. Okay, however, let's wrap it up.
But Jerry, the thing is this: if you look at the Manchester United team at the moment, there is an improvement in how they are playing.
Okay.
It shows the players did not put in their best, and this season, Amorim has made a huge statement. So play has improved. As time goes on, they will ease into it and start getting points. The game against Fulham was not that bad.
Please leave Jerry.
It's a step in the right direction.
Even Fernandes is no longer scoring. Fernandes is no longer scoring penalties. So you're in trouble. And he's leaving.
Anybody can lose penalties now. Maybe you yourself, maybe your team is struggling. Your team
is see now, Newcastle. Calm down. Efarabale. Don't worry. Soon you too.
We'll be just to cook you. Don't worry.
Don't worry. Go and cook fried rice and chicken so you go and you watch with soft drink. Anyway, that's how we wrap it up today. Big thanks, Maiwa. Big thanks to Ikechukwu for being awesome. And big thanks to the guys talking about Shogun, Sam. And of course, Jeremiah not living out as Sam. My name is Jerry Apel. I say thanks for being a part of Locker Room. Until we meet again, you will never walk alone.